Hurricane Melissa wiped out farms and somehow made cucumbers cheaper than ever. That sounds backward, but it actually makes sense. In this video, I'm breaking down how produce prices crash, how to take advantage when vegetables are dirt cheap, and how I'm turning these cucumbers into pickles and relish. And later, I'll update you on how recovery from Melissa is really going, so stick around. Right after Hurricane Melissa, fresh produce prices exploded. A few months later, they collapsed. Today, I'm using cucumber pickles to explain why and how to take advantage of that. Hurricane Melissa made landfall in western Jamaica on October 28, 2025, becoming one of the most devastating hurricanes on record. Western Jamaica, especially St. Elizabeth, produces a huge percentage of Jamaica's fruits and vegetables. When Melissa hit, many farms were wiped out in just a few hours. That immediately cut produce supply across the island. And when supply drops, prices jump. For months, I was using hot pepper sauce because fresh Scotch bonnet prices went up almost 10 times. Sweet peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers all followed the same pattern. This isn't unusual. We saw the same thing after Hurricane Beryl in 2024. But here's the part most people don't really pay attention to. Farmers didn't just stop, they replanted, and they replanted fast. They focused on crops that mature quickly. Callaloo, pak choi, cucumbers, and peppers became the priority. With decent rain after Melissa, produce did really well. And now those same crops are everywhere. As you can guess, prices crashed. Cucumbers saw the biggest drop. Cucumber went down to $50 per pound. I bought 10 pounds and walked away with 11 for just $500. That's wild. Normally I don't buy more than a pound or two. I don't use cucumbers heavily and they spoil quickly. But when prices flip like this, you either adapt or you miss the opportunity. And that's where pickles come in. Although you might not immediately think of pickles when it comes to Jamaican food, there's actually a quiet culture of pickling fresh fruits and vegetables. For Jamaicans, pickling isn't really about long-term preservation. It's more about flavor, heat, salt, and that sharp tang from vinegar. Fruits like guinea, green mangoes, and green June plums are commonly quick pickled and eaten as snacks. Vegetables like carrots, onions, and hot peppers are also pickled on their own, but the most famous version is escovitch pickle. Escovitch combines several vegetables into a bright, spicy pickle sauce. It's best known with fish, but it works just as well with chicken and other proteins. Cucumbers are pickled too, just not as often. I'm using about half the 11 pounds of cucumbers for my pickles. Because cucumbers are so cheap right now, I've also started using them more in my diet. I'll have a few slices with each meal or use them to make slaws. The number one way most people are having the excess cucumbers, including me, is as juice. Blend cucumbers with a bit of ginger and a splash of lime juice and you get a really refreshing drink. Bag or bottle that up and you can store it in your freezer for months. That's exactly what I did, and it's another great way to make the most of cheap cucumbers. For my pickles, I'm using these glass swing top jars. Canning jars are better because these aren't great for long-term storage outside of the fridge. Maybe just a few days. I'll be storing mine in the fridge, so I should get a couple months out of them before they go bad or the quality drops too much. I wash the jars in warm soapy water as extra security. For my first jar, I'm adding whole cucumbers. The longer ones I cut in half so they fit better. A mistake I made was not cutting off the blossom and stem ends. The blossom end supposedly has enzymes that make pickles less crunchy. That wasn't really a problem with this batch, but the stem end had an off taste. I don't even eat that part when the cucumber is fresh because it can be really bitter, and pickling doesn't make it taste better. Just something to think about. For variety, I'm cutting the cucumbers in a few different ways. However you cut them, make sure they're packed tightly into the jar with at least half an inch to an inch of headspace. When we add the brine, we want everything fully submerged. That helps the pickles last longer. Exposed pieces makes it easier for microbes to move in. I also sliced a few. These ended up being really convenient because I could just grab a couple and use them right away without any extra prep. I also made some half cut ones, and that gave me a total of 4 fully stocked jars. Perfect. Now let's talk about our pickle brine. I'm using a 2-to-1 ratio of vinegar to water. So for this recipe, that's 5 cups of vinegar to 2.5 cups of water. Next, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. This helps with flavor, texture, and shelf life. 2 tablespoons of sugar just to round everything out. For aromatics, I'm using about 2 tablespoons of dried pimento or allspice. A bit of fresh thyme because of course dry thyme is a scam. 4 bay leaves, 1 for each jar. And finally a whole head of peeled garlic. I'm putting this over medium heat to help extract all those flavors. That right there is a solid pickling liquid. Not just for cucumbers, but for any vegetable you think is worth pickling. Off the top of my head, carrots and beets would be perfect. While that's heating up, I'm going to add a few pimento peppers to the jar. I love the flavor they give. And to bring in some real heat, I'm adding a few slices of scotch bonnet. The pickle is going to hold on to that aromatic scotchy flavor really well. These cucumbers are cold because they were chilling in the fridge, and that in turn cooled the glass jars. If I added hot brine to them right now, there's a real chance the jars could crack from the temperature shock. So I'm just placing them on the stove near the heat to slowly warm up and reduce that risk. Our brine has been boiling for a few minutes now, and I can smell all those aromas coming out, so I know it's ready. I'm going to pour that hot brine into the jars and hope they don't crack. Nice. Make sure everything is fully submerged under the liquid. Then just repeat with each jar. I ended up filling only 3 jars, so I had to make a little more brine for the 4th one using the same vinegar to water ratio and some leftover aromatics. And that's basically it for our pickles. I'm going to let them cool a bit before closing them so they can finish cooling properly. Sometimes air bubbles get trapped inside and we definitely don't want that. So just agitate each jar to release the air. Anywhere there's air, microbes can grow easily and we can't have that. You'll see the cucumbers go from bright green to olive green pretty quickly. The thinner the cut, the faster that color change happens. These have cooled enough now, so I'm closing them up and placing them on my shelf to cool completely. The color will finish changing long before that though. Before these go in the fridge, let's give them a taste. That's the classic pickle look. Wow, that is crunchy and really delicious. Honestly, that's the best pickle I've ever had. Those quarter cut ones are my least favorite though. They don't hold as much crunch. Definitely not cutting them like that again. Dating and labeling your food is always a good idea, especially when you're storing things long term. Sometimes I'll find something in the fridge that feels like I made it 2 or 3 weeks ago. It looks good, smells good, then I check the date and it's been there for a month or more. Commercial kitchens have strict labeling guidelines for a reason. Bringing that same habit into your home kitchen just makes sense. Pickles are great on their own, but there's a few things you can do with them to really stretch your cheap cucumbers. I'm going to show you how I make a quick and easy pickle relish, but before that, let's talk about the reason we're in this situation to begin with and how it's going. It's 3 months after Melissa. A lot of people are back to some kind of normalcy. A lot of businesses and houses have been repaired and people are out working and doing their thing again. With all that, recovery is still ongoing. You will still see houses that lost their roof still being covered by that blue tarpaulin. But one of the biggest issues is still electricity. Building back out the infrastructure is mostly done. A lot of that is thanks to JPS importing labor and machinery from the States. I got back power for the first time on the 12th of January. Currently, restoration is at about 93%. However, that 93% is very deceptive. 4 or 5 days after my power was restored, I lost it again, and as the making of this video, it still hasn't returned. Areas that had power restored in some cases lost power again for up to 2 weeks sometimes. There are low voltage issues in some areas and inconsistent supply in others. There is still a lot of work happening on the grid. JPS contractors are out here working long hours all week. Eventually these issues will get resolved, but for now it's an expensive problem for a lot of people, including myself. While recovery is still messy and expensive, at least in my kitchen nothing is being wasted. So on a lighter note, let's check in on those pickles. It's only been a day and I really went in on these. I wasn't joking when I said these were the best pickles I've ever had. Now let's use them to make that relish we've been talking about. I need a cup of that pickle juice. All of that flavor we built up earlier is in here. On medium heat, I'm adding it to a saucepan. I'm making a sweet relish, so I'm adding a 1/4 cup of sugar. For depth, a tablespoon of mustard powder. Normally mustard seeds are used, but I'm just working with what I have. I'm also adding about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now I'm going to let this reduce and thicken into a syrup. Bring it to a boil, then lower the heat so it doesn't burn. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to mince some of our pickles. These are the half-cut ones and they make great snacks. That stem still doesn't taste great, so I'm just removing it from all of them. I've seen people blend their pickles or use a fruit processor to chop them up. That's a lot faster, but I really like those small uniform cubes. I want a fully stocked cup of minced pickles. This has now reduced into a syrup, so it's ready. There's a little burning on the side of the pan that would introduce off flavors, so I'm switching pans. The water from the other ingredients would have pulled out all that burnt flavor into the relish. Now we can add our cup of minced pickles. This is a 1/4 cup of minced sweet pepper and a 1/4 cup of minced onions. Now we just cook this down. It's not as syrupy as I want yet, so I'm adding about another tablespoon of sugar. Cook that off until it comes back to a syrupy consistency and we're good. Even though it's syrupy, it's still more tangy than sweet, which makes sense because we did just reduce a liquid that's mostly vinegar. This sweet, tangy, crunchy condiment works great in cold sauces like tartar or just straight in a sandwich. And having relish means I had to make hot dogs, and I've been making hot dogs all week. These are banging. So, there you have it. Hurricane Melissa flipped everything on its head. It was crazy, but we adapted and turned a pile of cheap cucumbers into something genuinely delicious. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. When food prices get cheap, don't waste the opportunity. Turn it into something that lasts. With rising food costs, that one little habit can save you real money. I'm Nick and this has been delicious. Big shout out to the patrons who keep the kitchen cooking. Thank you for watching. Bless up and I'll catch you in the next one.